I've lived in Minnesota about 7 years. I heard there are a lot of Somalis over in the Twin Cities. And you see a lot of them out here too, in southwest Minnesota. A lot of cornfields, soybean fields out here. It's kind of like Iowa. So a lot different than the rest of the state, but still you see many Somalis living and working here. So this story, young Somali men started disappearing from the Twin Cities. And it turns out that they were reappearing over in Mogadishu, fighting for terrorist army. How did they get there? Who recruited them? And it occurred to me, what would it be like if someone from one of the smaller towns disappeared? What sort of impact would that have? Maybe they thought they'd be safer out here than in the big city, but the long arm of jihad reached out into the snow and grabbed Adam. And then I imagined a cop as cold as his surroundings, Ray Bleeker. And what happened when Bleeker lost his last thread holding him to humanity? His girlfriend, who was carrying his unborn child. Then add this to the mix. Adam's father, ex-gangbanger, leader of the South Minneapolis Somali Killers. Reformed now, working in a warehouse. But when his son goes missing, he brings it all back to bear. The longer I live here, the more Minnesotan I feel. The more the cold gets into my blood. The more I want to stay cold all year long. I love the flavor of noir. I really do. And I love my books to just be filled with it, like, chili pepper or something like that. But I want to go hang out with those guys for a little while. I just don't want to live there. But then that's where I'm finding the best writing. It's where I'm finding some of my best friends. Something about the dark. Just can't seem to get away from it. I'm originally from Mississippi, born and raised along the Gulf Coast. Moved to Minnesota about 7 years ago, and now my blood's cold. I teach at Southwest Minnesota State University. I'm the director of the creative writing program, and I love my job. I really love it when I'm teaching writing, technique, craft, and you just see the light bulb moment. Just goes on over their heads. They got it. I like introducing these new voices to the world. I'm not going to take much credit. I just help, shape them, varnish them, carve them a little bit, but it was there all the time. They just had to figure it out for themselves. I've got to say, being with Blasted Heath feels good. Feels like you belong. It feels like being in a band that just can't quite break to the big leagues, but everybody's passing their mixtapes underground. I like that. I like that. So, Herman is a good boy. Good boy. Good boy.